just look miserable all the time. They seem to be mad at the whole world and bitter all because of a breakup. I come to tell somebody this morning, I don't care how pretty they are. I don't care how long y'all were together. I don't care how much you love them. Don't you let no breakup ruin the rest of your life. There comes a time in your life when you got to stop the crying. Learn to pick yourself up, brush yourself off. There are other fish in the sea. Can I preach it here? That was not the last man on earth. She was not the last woman on earth. God's got somebody just for you. Won't you high five your neighbor and tell a neighbor, God's got somebody just for me. I feel like preaching in here. And so we understand that this is not the only kind of separation, because 1 Samuel 30:6 talks about David's men, David's army, and how they were bitter, because when they returned to Ziklag, their sons and their daughters were missing. They had been taken captive by the Amalekites, and it makes a parent bitter when their child has been taken away from them. And there's somebody in here I'm preaching to right now, that your child has been taken away from you. Some of them have been taken away from you emotionally. Some of them have even been taken away from you physically. And some of them have been taken away from you in both ways. Some of you have children that have been taken away by drugs. They have been taken away by the streets. They have been taken away by gangs, taken away by promiscuity. Some of you have children that have been taken away by a man. They have been taken away by a woman. Some of your children have been taken away by family members. And God told me to tell you, you got to be careful, because some people in your own family, some of your own brothers and some of your own sisters, they will take your child and turn them against you. Can I preach to you here this morning? Sometimes your daughter's boyfriend's main goal is to turn her against you. And sometimes your son's girlfriend's goal is to turn your own son against you. And there's some parents in here right now that are going through this right now, and things may be looking bad for you, and things may seem bad right now, but grab somebody by the hand this morning and tell them, neighbor, hold on, because things are about to change in your life. I wish I had a witness in here that no things ain't gonna stay the same way all the time, but there's a shift getting ready to happen in your life. High five somebody and tell them things are about to change in your life. I feel like preaching, but nobody want to help me. Can I preach in here, please? It was Naomi that declared after the death of her husband. After the death of her husband, then she experienced the death of her two sons. After the death of her two sons, she finds herself at the departure of her daughter-in-law. And Naomi says, I am very bitter that the hand of the Lord is gone out against me. And this is a revelation, because sometimes it is God that will make you bitter. Matter of fact, Naomi told the people in Bethlehem, she said, I don't want you to call me Naomi anymore. I want you to call me Mara, because the Almighty has dealt very bitterly with me. It was Job that said the same thing. He said, the Almighty has made my soul bitter. And this is a heavy word for somebody, because sometimes you'll find yourself angry. Sometimes you will find yourself vexed. Sometimes you will find yourself sad and crying. And it will be God who is responsible for how you feel. And so know that sometimes God will make you feel bitter. But at other times it will be people that will make you feel bitter. I feel stronger now. Genesis 49 and 23. It says that the archers made Joseph bitter. They shot arrows at him and they hated him. Joseph, the fruitful vine, was bitter, number one, because he was under attack. And he was bitter, number two, because he was hated. And I got a word for about 23 of y'all. Don't let people's hatred make you feel bitter. Don't let the fact that folks hate you make you bitter on the inside. So what if they don't like you? So what if they can't stand you? They hated Jesus, and they're going to hate you too. Won't you look at somebody and tell them, neighbor, I don't care if you don't like me. Only person I want to love me is the one that died for my sins. I feel the glory of God. You don't have to be worried about who don't like you. Don't be bitter because you got enemies. Don't be bitter because you got adversaries. Don't be bitter because you have opposition. There are some people who get so bitter because of how people may feel about them. This ain't everybody, but some people get sad to know that the people they love hate them in return. But you got to be determined, child of God, not to let people's hatred make you feel bitter. In other words, I don't care who you are. I'm not going to feel bad because you don't like me. That's your problem and not mine. I found somebody and tell them, neighbor, that's your problem and not mine. Not only that, do not let people's attacks make you feel bitter. Don't let the fact that you are under attack and being bombarded by your enemies, don't let that make you feel bitter on the inside. And I know some of y'all have been going through for a long time. Yes, there's people trying to injure you. Yes, there's people trying to damage you. Yes, there's people trying to tear you down. Some of y'all got people trying to kill you. You got folks trying to destroy you. You got people lying on you that don't even know you. They're talking about you and never even met you. But God told me to tell you, don't let it make you bitter. I wish you would grab somebody's hand and say, neighbor, I refuse to be bitter. Somebody clap your hands and give God a praise. I'm preaching about 5 more minutes. Here in our text, the Bible says that the Egyptians made the lives of the children of Israel bitter. And you got to watch out. You got to be careful, because there are some people that want to make your life bitter, and they will